Yo, 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 it's Misha Dex. And
Your boy Keymon. What's up?
are you
I
happy
feel like
today?
I feel like
You
you always
today?
gonna I feel like you always gonna have something to say after
I
my
don't.
my intro.
I don't.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Well, see, now I got something to say.
Let us have it. Let the world hear it.
Nah, I don't. I feel like at the end of the day, I'm so proud of us. Like season three is almost, you know, at its end. Like we got five more episodes to go. And I just want to reflect. I feel like we always get to this point where like we know what's going on with us
Mhm.
outside of recording, but like there's this like these moments where I just be like, yo, we didn't came so far. Like given the fact that in January will be a full year, right? And as long as we've known each other, we have not been this consistent with checking in.
At all.
And you getting on my nerves. I'm just playing.
It's neutral, but keep going.
We finally agree to
It
something.
should, yes, definitely,
Nah,
definitely.
but as we wrap up season three, like I said, we have five more episodes. Um, what are you like? Like, I want to hear from you. Like, what are you feeling about season three?
Enlightenment. I think the few guests that we had on, we were able to take a deeper dive into understanding them,
Yeah,
right? You talk about like from the first one being Terrell,
yeah,
his position and how he got to his point as a father just didn't click one day. Like he had to go through it to get to it. And that's what I don't think obviously people don't see the behind the scenes type of stuff,
yeah. And the
and then
testimonies that come with it.
exactly, exactly. And even, you know, from that one to Jason, and obviously I've been knowing him for years as well, from the time I moved to Atlanta. So it's been some years, and just to continue to grab like inspiration from these people that I still talk to on a day-to-day basis. And so, and then pushing it to, the problem in terms of just hearing the artist aspect of it. Like it's not always sugar on that side.
Right.
And but this is just from the standpoint of behind the cameras, like just the conversation that we were just having, intimate amongst all of us, just understanding that there's there's BS that's gonna find its way to you,
Right.
right? And just being aware. And I think I wouldn't have known how aware he was of himself without this interview.
Mm.
Because I think what we don't realize is that, or we forget, that people are still human outside
Oh,
of
most definitely.
performance status or whatever the case may be. And it takes your people, who you are bringing along, to keep you grounded, um,
Right.
to be there to lend a hand when you need it. So just that was a good one for me. And then
But
moving on
wait,
to
you can't say problem without Nick. Now I can't let you skim past my bro like that.
but yeah, no,
Because he
yeah, no, he was definitely a key part of it, and definitely not skipping over him, but just and also I mentioned this in the episode. Like I don't think me and Nick ever talked that way. Like it was always I was there to visit you. He just so happened the conversation was always light, or I run into him out, still conversation light. So
Right.
again, just understanding that he's very simple. He don't need much.
Not at all.
But
But he will let you know if you feel left out. Like,
yeah,
like he'll be like, as far as like personal like gifts and stuff,
mhm,
he's very simplistic. Like
mhm,
one year, real quick, I had for Father's Day, I bought him a bottle of wine and I had got the chalk markers and I wrote messages all over the bottle. And do you know he did not want to throw that bottle away? And
yeah,
it was like it was a gift that just he couldn't let go of. And then somehow somebody smudged it, and I think he ended up having to get like the marker off of it.
mhm,
But anyway, just to confirm his simplicity, very
yeah.
memorable.
No, for sure, for sure. And then, moving to the financial piece that we just dropped, um,
Oh
that
yeah,
was
Nia and Crystalline.
a whole different, energy, vibe that
You wanna
I
talk about why the energy was different?
because they were drinking. I
Who?
was
Don't say
drinking.
we. Exactly.
Um,
You had a personal show.
but no, just just with that enlightenment of financial status and just being able to highlight it and share it, like give the world like the sense of like maybe I should talk about my finance. Like it's okay. Like it's
Yeah.
really okay. And and so yeah, that's kind of my reflection. And obviously us continuing to show up and through these crazy times in our life and everything that we have
And what
going
are you
on.
looking at? Why are you looking at? You
Uh,
talking to guy?
no, yeah,
You
no,
was stuck. You said
I,
you would bring it down.
nah, I'm just actually just staring at the fridge is right in front of me. But yeah, just just kind of yeah, just there. That's where I'm gonna end it and I'm gonna pass it to you.
Well, most definitely. What I've gotten from our guest this season is we provide a comfort. Like
Mm,
everybody originally is super nervous for the most part. Not everybody, but for the most part, we have that nervous energy of, "Ooh, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to
mm,
say." And I feel like because we've been consistent, we've been able to give people the comfort to really be themselves. And I seen that with our last guest, right? Like
mm.
they came in with this nervous energy, and I was like, "Okay, let me
It's not
cook."
gonna be that bad. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. So once you cook and you start eating with food, you start building rapport, and it's like, okay, I know we're gonna make it through this episode
yeah,
because if
yeah,
we can eat together and have conversation, we can record. And
yeah.
so I really appreciate the way that we've been able to captivate that. But what I really want to give us props for is we are tapping into taboo conversations. Like
Mm,
um the taboos that have come up have been fatherhood, black men in fatherhood, and not just allowing narratives to run without our input.
yeah,
The taboo of like not wanting to talk about finances because that's not something you share. Like we put this cloud over things, but yet we be the culture that want to boast and show
mm,
off everything we got, but we don't want to talk about our credit or our traumas as parents or as the children of parents that
yeah,
have caused trauma. I love that we are actually sticking to the name of why be negative, right? It's like that we're counteracting the negativity that
yeah.
continues to show up. And it's interesting, like I'll have conversations with friends after the episodes and I'll get feedback on stuff and then I'll be like, yeah, we could have went deeper. But at the same time, it's like I still want to leave it open so that we can continue to have something to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, for
Because if
sure.
we covered everything, but even the shock value of like how close Prob and Nick is and the
Mm,
things that they were able to share. And like you said, you didn't have those deep conversations with Nick, but I've known Nick all my life. And so there was some little interesting nuggets that I was able to be like, oh,
yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
right. And even the feedback, but I love how season 3 has created these pockets of, like I said, of conversation that allowed us to even go a little deeper. Um, season 4 is literally around the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I know at one point we talked about being more in the field, but I really want to see what that would look like in group settings. We have yet to have like a bigger
Mm,
group recording. Like the
yeah.
most it's been is 5, right? Or no, 4. Me and Londa, Megan, and Tranisha.
Uh-huh.
but like I definitely want to have more group settings. I think there's a lot more dialogue that we can get where we might have to stretch to like a 45-minute episode, but I
Yeah,
know that it will give, it'll be worth it,
yeah, for
in
sure.
the end for people to come up with their topics and we just be present and just provide the space for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's wild that you mentioned comfort. Um, I think life, from last week or this week, leading into this week, um, I've been sitting with that word, comfort,
them.
and not from a me standpoint, but a interaction standpoint. Who I touch, who I communicate with, and it's just funny that you know I just literally just got a text, and this is based off a basketball team that I just played with, and the ending of the words is like your positivity um didn't go unnoticed. I was in a situation a couple of weeks ago where I spent a little bit of time there, but one of my buddies told me, he was like, dude, you had the smallest time there, but the biggest impact. And it's just making people feel good. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like having the conversations and the difficult conversations don't have to be difficult. Like we make them feel the way that they feel, and we
So,
control them.
right, because it's based on our understanding. And I know, I ain't gonna even say her name because she's gonna be like, here she go. I always say the same thing. Everybody' perspective and experience looks different. For example, I was talking to one of my cousins earlier, and we were having this heartfelt emotion, I mean, this heartfelt conversation about being discerned and discernment when dating, and what that would look like and how to move in that
Mm,
spirit. And she said, all the things that people can say to me, just don't tell me I'm too emotional. And I said, that's crazy that your interpretation or even being told that you're too emotional triggers this bad space when in actuality it's so many people that are emotionally unintelligent,
mm,
and to know that it's been used against you because of a non-emotional or a person that lacks empathy made you feel bad for being aware of how you're feeling at any
mm,
given moment. And I said, yo, that's so crazy that whoever did that to you had a bigger
mm,
impact on you than they needed to. Because now they took something that you experienced and that a lot of people struggle with and made it a bad thing. So when you're talking about comfort, it's also the perspective of what that looks like
yeah.
and understanding they said you may not know it, but you might have had the biggest impact of all time
Mm,
in a short period, but your perspective may not allow you to see that because of what your experience was versus the experience that people had to get like they
yeah.
what they experienced from you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. In going back to you said it was your cousin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so my challenge to her, or my encouragement, not my challenge, is to define that. Define that for yourself. Define
Yeah.
emotional. Just don't say I'm too emotional. Define what does that mean? Because and the reason why that that triggered, or that necessarily triggered, but I can resonate with that, was I was like that when people called me sensitive. Oh,
Yeah.
you sensitive. Oh, you sensitive. And what I realized is that shit, yeah, I want to be treated right.
Right. But not only
And
that, you can identify what you're feeling. Like
yeah,
it
exactly. Exactly.
we
But
okay.
but with the work, I also had to land there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
right? Like landing somewhere comes with a certain type of experience, confidence, and then it happens.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I know you had
No,
some.
I was just saying like it's just a trip because I've had this conversation more recently about the things, and we've talked about this, I believe, like 2 episodes ago about how parents put these they plant these seeds, but they're planting them in the wrong part of our brain, right? So I brought up that my dad was like, "Oh, you can't have a boyfriend till you're 25." So I was obedient, but their expectation was for me to be defiant. But they didn't tell me that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then at 17, 18, I'm riding with my dad to Krispy Kreme, and he like, "So do you like girls?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And he was
Right.
like, "Yo, like you got all these guy friends, but they all
Yeah.
got girlfriends." And
Yeah.
then
Not
I'm not hearing nothing.
not looking
And
at it from like, no, I was just being a good dog. I was listening to what you said.
right, right. And then the other biggest part, I got 5 brothers. I was gonna say another word. I'm tired of them.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want
for
no
sure.
woman, but I'm tired of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, for
And
sure.
so anyway, it's that triggered something in me. Like, wait a minute, there's this miscommunication, or either he didn't trust that I was gonna follow through, whatever the case is, right? But it's a lot of examples of that where not even just parents, but people in general that are older than us give us this advice that they think is coming from a safe space, but
Yeah,
it also causes these miscommunications. And so then you're stuck with dealing with, like, even boys, like, don't cry. You don't cry, you man up. Well, whoever said manning up didn't mean cry? Like,
yeah,
sometimes it may take a man to cry to release something. And like Hova say, like, you can't heal what you don't reveal. Like,
yeah.
that was the truest line of all times when it comes to the fact that we communicate backwards.
Mm,
And then we wonder why young people are walking around confused as hell about stuff. You
yeah,
don't do this, you don't do that, but I got a bottle of beer, a bottle of liquor in my hand.
yeah. I think it's as a parent, obviously being parents the way I was parented, it's totally different than the way I'm parenting my daughters, right?
Right,
But I think you using that word trust has been big on me. So like my daughter, she had homecoming this weekend, and the dress that she sent, obviously showing a little skin, and I was like, you know what? You just gotta trust it. Like you can't sit here, oh, take that back on everything.
yeah,
You have to trust it. You have to trust that you are showing up for her daily. You are dropping these little gems. She is understanding where you're coming from, or will get to the point where she's like, aha moment. But right
right,
now, she has to experience this for herself.
right.
So
Because guess what?
trust it.
You wouldn't want her to be lacking confidence.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get what I'm saying? These are these moments that I sit in as a 43-year-old woman thinking about some of the conversations that did and did not happen, right? So you get told, like, you get this fear as in Keymon, like, oh, my daughter is gonna wear this dress, or she's, but did you ever find the compliment or the understanding that my baby is confident enough
Hmm.
to wear something, where you had
Yeah,
me that was like, I'm wearing hoodies and jackets
yeah,
all every
yeah,
season?
yeah.
Because growing up and having developed faster than a lot of girls. Like, I don't remember having a training bra. Like,
Mm.
I was in the Olympics from the beginning, okay? But like, what, like, why me? Why, right? Like, even having big lips, like, I was cracked on about it. And then you get older, and all the things that I was trying to hide actually accentuated, like, this whole different, like, if I embraced it, it would have been received differently.
Yeah,
And I think that goes too about, like, we got to be better at how we pour into these young people and what we say. Like, with the understanding of, like, look, I don't want you to get the wrong attention from what you're wearing and how you're wearing it, but I also don't want you to feel like you don't deserve to express how you feel about you. You might say, "Oh
yeah,
God."
yeah. Nah, that,
Here we go. Let's hear
yeah.
it.
Nah, just I mean, it's true. Um, because I mean, let's be real. Like, there's no running from it, right? Like I think as a parent, we want to prolong it as long as we possibly can. But then we know the quote unquote girls, the good girls who was kept captive at a young age turned out to be some of the craziest ones.
right? Because you
No
suppress something
exposure.
that was
Yeah,
in them.
exactly.
You
Exactly.
you
So,
suppress any energy, it's gonna pop out.
yeah, yeah. So, it's understanding that there's always going to be another side to the story or another
Yeah.
approach, another approach. I wouldn't say side. There's always another approach.
So tell me
And
this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no, this weekend just seeing that, knowing this her first homecoming, like I just didn't have the energy to even combat it. But then the other side of it was this is her first homecoming. She's excited about the heels because she don't really wear heels, and this is her first time really wearing heels. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
and,
I think this says a lot about how much you've been saying that you want to give them room to not only grow but to learn themselves.
ooh, ooh,
But
they
you're
jumping
completely in
it.
conflict. You're
Yeah,
completely conflicted
definitely.
with the idea of this. But I also like, I just ask you to give her some grace because these are going to be these moments where you have to trust that you've instilled what you had to, when what you've instilled in her, right?
Yeah,
And this is building that trust and allowing not only for you to step out your comfort, but to her to learn what her comfort actually is
yeah,
without feeling like dang, I can't even everything I do, my dad's disappointed, right? And
yeah,
then
yeah.
you got their head
Exactly.
down because you don't want to
Yeah,
be a part of that. But
exactly.
what do you think what would it take for you to release or relinquish some of that, like, because what is it that caused you to feel like she
Well, I mean, it's shit. I mean, the world, right? And I feel like her having a social media has steamrolled it a lot faster. And I think if it was, hey, meet someone movie theater, or hey, this person also met him in person, they make me laugh. That's why I want them to enter my circle. And I get, social media is this generation. However, there's beauty in really connecting with somebody just based off a conversation, or you might like it's just
no, I get it, but you
I
going off of your own experience too. But the
yeah,
thing is that this generation is socially awkward because of social media.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
who would have thought the oxymoron of having social media would be that social awkwardness will be at an all-time high, right?
Exactly.
With this
Exactly.
generation. But I get why you say that. But the unfortunate thing is that we can't control that
Yeah,
narrative.
can't control. Can't control it.
Because
Nope.
these,
Not at
okay,
all.
I was trying not to bring her up, but like my niece Tristan, you know, we had a conversation with her a few years ago about friends and how they come and go. And I can't put words in her mouth or a thought in her brain. I think she looks at me and her mom and go, yes, like yes, y'all can, like, but we're a rare case. Like
Yeah,
everybody can't go from teens to 20s to 30s to 40s. Like
yeah,
everybody can't come. And I remember her like having this whole meltdown about like, but we don't know what we're talking about. And we looking at her like,
yeah,
girl, do you know the number of friends that have come and have gone and some come back and you realize you should stay gone or never
yeah,
came back. And so what I am learning as an aunt is I can tell her my experience for the sake of dropping a nugget,
hmm,
but I don't have to beat it into her brain so that she's gonna take from it what she's gonna take from it.
Yeah, facts.
And regardless, she's going to have her own experiences that will give her all the rich tools she will need. I'm going to
Mm,
trust that because that's what
mm-hmm.
I had to go through, right? Like I had to have my own experiences and then I can tell her on the back end, but it's nothing like having your own experiences.
And I think what our experience are used for in these moments really is to sharpen those tools for them, right? Like
It's the
they,
confirmation.
yep, yep. And so that's big. And even as I say that out loud, I'm gonna take that one with me. Like your job is to sharpen it.
Yeah.
Your job is
Because
to sharpen it.
we if we could have avoided some of the things that we were told, because when it again, this is such an old saying, when you're in it,
It's
you can't
totally
see
different.
nothing else.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
Because
That is
I
true.
was warned about all kind of things, like if you do that, you're gonna have this, and it don't even have to always deal with friendships and relationships. It could be just decisions, if you don't practice or you don't build up that
Yeah,
mental strength for something. um Excuse me, like you won't be able to fulfill stuff, like even learning, even at an early age, volunteering with my mom did something,
mm,
right? It did something. I don't know what it is about being a giver makes me feel affirmed right then and there than receiving. I don't, again, people like gifts. I like to receive things, like, especially when it's something I really am into.
yeah,
um but giving does something totally different to my brain. It sends some endorphins, like, oh my goodness, somebody day was just made by me just providing, whether it's a word, whether it's directions, whether it's,
yeah,
information to better something. I think that those are the things that I've experienced. And I'm trusting that, even with, like I said, being an aunt and a godmom, I pray that whatever those little nuggets are that they probably wasn't, thinking about doing, changes their life for the better.
mm, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, yeah, it's day by
You
day. It,
struggling.
no, it's just been from when you talk about like reflection, just celebrating the 2 year old's birthday a couple of weeks ago or last Saturday to I think I posted I was like from tea parties to hard conversations,
Yeah.
right? And even hard conversations, and the part of it is what makes them hard. Like, am I making them hard? Like
Thank
I
you.
choose,
You know
like I put,
why? You're making it hard because you know the possible outcomes, where they're so naive.
yeah,
They're so naive in the moment. All they see is what they see.
yeah,
Whereas we have the versatility of, this can go this way, this can go that way, this cannot happen. And they looking at us like, why are you being negative? Like,
yeah,
all I
yeah,
see is the possibilities of what I see. Because
yeah,
again, visibility issue occurs when you've never had the opportunity to see things through. And that's
yeah,
what I really want to encourage us as adults to do, is allow these babies to see stuff through without tainting the idea first. So then we can have that conversation.
yeah,
Like, instead of, because we've talked so down on things, they don't want to talk to us because now they're like, you didn't already said, you said what you had to
yeah,
say. You made it seem like, oh, life is gonna be so ugly.
yeah, yeah.
and,
And
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 so it
and that's
changes it.
and that's important, right? Like not painting that picture because it's a
Giving
beautiful.
them
It
the
can be a beautiful.
paintbrush.
Yeah, yep. And so yeah, I just got three. I need to navigate through. So only three, only three,
Well,
only
I
three.
will say it's three, but that's three magical people in the world that we can use to negate from, so much toxicity that's in the world as
Mm,
it is. And I know I don't have the experience of saying, like, oh, flesh of my flesh, that I pass on,
mm,
these different traits, but I do feel good knowing that I've said something positive to each one of them, right?
yeah,
All the kids. Like, there's something. And even with my niece Triss, we got this relationship that is so it's topsy turvy sometimes.
Mm,
But what I can appreciate about it is that when we, for example, Sunday, her brother, my godson, had a tournament and he won. By the way, my baby, he won his championship, undefeated.
what basketball? What was it? Go ahead.
Football,
Football.
flag football. But I got there a little late because we had a party the night before, and I just slept in a little bit. And so anyway, they sent her to come get me, and it was just funny because you never know what I'm gonna get with her, especially with
Mm,
it being early in the morning. So anyway, she walked past the field. She had a little hike on her, and she came, and I pulled my camera out, and I just had to see just in case she wasn't in the mood for me.
yeah,
And then she just started smirking, and I already knew, okay, we good. And
yeah,
I filmed her, and I go, there goes my baby. But she was able to receive that, right?
yeah,
Like it's knowing that we can have these head bumps, but at the end of the day, do you know I love you?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
And that's the biggest piece that is going to always take precedence is making sure that regardless to the head bumps, regardless to the lessons learned, regardless to whatever let down or whatever, can we make it back to the I love
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, no, no, those are real questions. Those are real questions because, and that's when it goes back to the quote unquote hard conversations. Some people don't make it back from the hard conversation,
you? Exactly.
so that's
And that's
that's the big difference.
that sucks because I feel like hard conversations should definitely be used like anything hard in the world, like a brick.
Mm, mm,
You could create a wall, but you can also build a home.
yeah,
All these different elements that are considered hardened can be used to block out something, but also lock something in at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah,
But it goes back to perspective,
yeah,
right? Is your perspective to lock it out, or is your perspective to protect what's in?
yeah,
And are you building something to create a space, a bridge, a freeway, a highway, or are you building something to create a fort with no door, no opportunity for any opening?
yeah,
And that's pretty dope that this conversation of course flowed because I can feel it on you,
yeah,
like parenting. I can't even imagine. But you
yeah,
do it, you do it well, and the reason why you're doing it well is because you haven't gave up.
yeah. No, that's it. I can't. I can't.
But some people can.
Yeah, yeah. Some
Unfortunately,
people.
and not that ain't your ministry.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I
Well,
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
just keep on loving them and treat me better.
Keep on keeping on.
And treat me better.
Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
Anyway, with that being said, why
Why
be
be
negative?
negative?
You did that on purpose. Go.
No, no, no.